There is a pretty big rarity issue that's happening in Yu-Gi-Oh! Big dogs, there is actually a quarter-century drama.
Here we go again.
Where Konami is reprinting the same cards that were quarter-century rare in Starlight. I personally think that there's some good things about it, there's some bad things about it, but overall, there are some things that I think we should all talk about. In today's video, I'm here with chat, and today we are going to be discussing everything you need to know about this drama, and of course, some really good solutions that should be happening. Let's go ahead and jump on in. What's going on with y'all big dogs? And it is an amazing day for Yu-Gi-Oh! I hope that your day phenomenal. But if it isn't, don't let what happened at the beginning of your day ruin the rest of your day. Because my day seems a little bit ruined. I'm not gonna hold you guys. I wanna talk about a situation that I've been talking about the entire week. I wanna talk to you guys about the Discord situation. In case you guys didn't know, last week my Discord was hacked and my entire server, poof! I want to point out that we have started a new Yu-Gi-Oh! Discord, and we're going to have poker, we're going to have strippers, we're going to have everything there. It's going to be way better than before. Basically, I'm saying we're starting all over and we're taking measures to make sure that that never happens again. Discord support sucks. TCG reprints have always been a problem in Yu-Gi-Oh! And let's go back in history if you guys want me to explain. Previously, a long time ago, like a long time ago. How long? Well, if you guys remember when you got unlimited minutes at 7 o'clock, then you pretty much, that's around that time. After 9? It was after 9? Brother man, you gotta go to sleep by 9.
You're talking about old stuff. I remember back in the day when our cell phones were used just to call. We didn't have text. In fact, text was for the people that couldn't hear. That's originally why texting were made. Oh, and our cell phone used to have buttons on them. Now you guys gotta pay for your phones to be folded and have buttons, which is weird. Anyways, Gladiator Beast is a really powerful deck, and if you summon Lucari in attack position, most cards couldn't stand against it. But then there was Cyber Dragon that was really powerful, which means you had to...
So back then, Yu-Gi-Oh! Reprints were kind of undefined. Basically what happened is we would get a Yu-Gi-Oh! Card, really powerful and highly sought after. I'm gonna take, for example, just a random Yu-Gi-Oh! Card. Chat, help me out here. Pot of Greed? Brother, come on now. Don't hit me like that. Infinity Dragon? Bro, come on. Do you guys know about the format? You guys are just saying stuff. I hate you guys so much. Graceful Charity, Monster Reborn was a common. Dark Arm Dragon. We'll take Dark Arm Dragon, even though that's not the year I was looking for. A really powerful card like Dark Arm Dragon would be printed, and then later on down the line, I mean like later on down the line, the card would finally be reprinted that would be accessible to players. There are some other examples with popular cards being almost immediately reprinted. If you guys can remember way back in the day, monsters like Jinzo and Cyber Dragon were almost immediately reprinted inside of a tin, which allowed it to become accessible for other Yu-Gi-Oh! Players. In fact, speaking of the Mega Tins of 2025, it's one of the prime examples why Mega Tins were so valuable back in the day. You were almost guaranteed reprints of certain Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. I want to take you guys back to still old school Yu-Gi-Oh! For you guys, but new school comparative of what I was saying. Maxi, Tour Guide, Pot of Duality, all in 110, brother. Like seriously, that was like 110 guaranteed. Do you want me to give you an example? It would be like getting Molchummy Flawless, Dominus Impulse, and what? I don't know. Fiend Smith Engraver, all in 110 guaranteed. I'm not gonna say that I agree with that style of reprint because of the timing, but it was a successful way to get people to buy product while also having ways for people to get accessible cards. Now, the trade-off for those particular Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards being reprinted is that they were in a much lower rarity than their counterpart. For example, that same Maxi that was secret rare inside of its original set, Force of the Breakers, I'm 100% sure I'm wrong, got reprinted inside of the Mega 10 as a super. And while there were instances of a Yu-Gi-Oh! Card getting a rarity upgrade, like Dark Arm Dragon going from secret to ultimate rare, those were reserved for special type of packs and special events. Right now, in current Yu-Gi-Oh! Reprints are a lot more accessible, which I actually like. As opposed to the previous time where you get these reprints, they were often a little too late, or at least felt like it, but the bright side of it is that they were easily accessible. It also played a really good role for people that invested in their Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I don't know about you, but I don't mind investing into a high-end card or a highly sought-after card, knowing it's going to get a reprint if the rarity of my card stays the same. In modern Yu-Gi-Oh, Konami dabbled with it with the Rarity collection, and then they just kind of took completely off. I said this when the original Rarity collection came out, that it wasn't necessarily good for the game because they reprinted the collector's rare cards as collector's rare cards all over again. And it almost felt malicious because they went after every single card that was ever reprinted as a collector's rare and reprinted it collector's rare. They introduced some new cards, but they specifically went out of their way to get cards in collector's rare, which was the reason why some people even bought boxes of previous sets. I was mad about it. Nobody really cared. So that's fair. Maybe people didn't like collector's rare. Maybe people weren't excited about it. But to see Konami continue this trend with other rarities is a little concerning. I'm not saying that Yu-Gi-Oh players shouldn't have access or the ability to access to nice things. I'm saying, as from a collector's perspective, or when we go back and look at the game, having the original version of your card reprinted in the exact same rarity a couple of months later does not feel great. Especially if the rarity was really, really hard to get. Were the originals first edition? And that's actually another problem, Fishin 220. Another huge thing that Konami used to do is that they used to reprint the rarity of the card as unlimited. Then they typically wouldn't touch the same rarity again. When it comes to the quarter century cards, it says first edition. It's almost the exact same thing. The only difference is the rarity number or the set number. The first edition thing was how they caught UDE counterfeiting too. He's a good student, dog. We gotta award some points. We gotta make some houses or stuff, big dog. Because HM Power is climbing Slifer Slackers. He about to go to Raw Yellow or Reading Raw very soon. While I wasn't a huge fan of editions, I thought that they were a really good benefit for Yu-Gi-Oh players. The people that actually went out of their way to get the cards on first release got rewarded with the first edition version. And then the later players were given the unlimited version, which is fair. They kind of got rid of that, a couple of years ago? Well, way more than a couple of years ago, Chad, I'm old. And it's been replaced with these type of reprint sets that have been giving us first editions of the exact same rarity. Not the exact same set, but still the exact same rarity. Same rarity? No. If a card gets re-reprinted, it should always be a lower rarity than the ones that came out before, in my opinion. And I think that that's 100% fair to the people that are investing into the card. I think we shouldn't care about cards being reprinted. Actually, I think that reprints should happen more frequently, and I'll talk about that in a later portion of the video of my solution. But the problem is, it feels like really bad when you get a card and then it comes out in the same rarity. You're just like, what was the point? Magic says that and follows through. If anything, they have entirely different arts for the same card. Oh my God, and that's a really good point. It's not like Konami hasn't done it before where they re-reprint a card in the same rarity but a different art. I'm not even opposed to that. In actuality, Konami has done the same thing in Master Duel and upgraded the art. I'm perfectly fine spending, I think $80 on an access code talker back in 2021 for it to become a secret rare again, but an alternate art. I don't think anybody would be upset. It's a money grab by Konami. Alternate arts are really cool most of the time, and it actually gives players an incentive to get the card all over again. I know when the alternate art Appaloosa came out, I actually preferred that art over the regular one. So picking up that card and having it alongside of the regular art gave us incentive. And then that's where we start to come with alternate rarities that are similar. Some people may rebuttal my argument of collector's rares being reprinted inside a rarity collection because they are technically two different rarities. So Starlight Rare, as you guys already know, is pretty much QCR. They're very similar. The difference is pretty much a stamp. All right, big dogs. So this is a Starlight Rare, and this is next to a collector's rare. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm trying to avoid the glare. And if I'm being honest, give or take, they're I guess one's silver lettering, the other's gold lettering, but outside of that, there's really not much of a difference. And in case you guys didn't know, these were protected by the Raven Wing sleeves. We're on version 3 right now. I think it's only pink sleeves left, and I have just a small amount. So go ahead and go to TheCaliEffect.com and purchase your sleeves today. I think the big problem here is that Konami is actually reprinting these cards immediately. Like, just a couple of days ago, we got it announced that Photon Lord was being reprinted in Starlight, when earlier last year, or late last year, or even earlier this year, it was reprinted as a QCR. Brother man, can you at least wait for a little bit? It's almost like Konami has forgot how to reprint cards in a timely manner, how to make cards chase cards and keep them available in price while giving people alternatives. Had these cards had alternate art or something like that, I don't think anybody would even utter a word. We'd probably praise them. And it would be that simple for them to be able to make money off of us. What would make it special? Be a full art, which Konami has already in Rush Duels? Bro, right there. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't think the problem is these cards are getting reprinted. I think the problem is that it just feels lazy and uninspiring, right? So I do have a solution though. My solution is Konami should make a Yu-Gi-Oh set, right? And then they should reprint the Yu-Gi-Oh set within 2 months. So hypothetically, we have the new set Duelist Advance. From there, we get an unlimited run of Duelist Advance. And how it will work for Duelist Advance is that they change the rarities. Let me give you an example. Here's a box of Duelist Advance. So let's say, for example, sure, Sky Striker A0 is a secret rare in the original printing, and it is a secret rare. Of course, it's a first edition. And the Duelist Advance Special Edition, they should make it a super rare. That way, people have access to the low rarity cards of this. We know it's getting reprinted, and Konami can sell more. But here's the trick to it, guys. I added a little wrinkle. Let's say one of the cards started doing well in tournament play, which you should probably already know. Loose of the Dawn's Dusk. You won't believe it, guys. Make it a secret rare. Oh my God! Oh! Swear to God, chat, I'm pretty sure Konami would eat off of us every single month with this. All they have to do is release a condensed version of the set with lower rarity of the higher cards and higher rarity of the lower cards. Everybody wins. It gives players an opportunity to get some prize cards or some really good cards, their favorite cards from the set, and a higher rarity, while also giving budget players the opportunity to getting the same expensive cards in a lower rarity. Oh, and of course you get to sell what? It's 4 sets a year? You get to sell 4 more sets a year, which means you get 4 more Megatins a year. Why am I not the president of Konami right now? I think it's called conflict of interest. Please tell me. Tell me where it's called conflict of interest. Do people at Konami not play Yu-Gi-Oh or something? Damn, I think I answered my own question with that one. But I don't know, man. Maybe that's just me talking about the quarter century and rarity issues. Maybe that's just me venting. Overall, class, I want to hear what you guys have to say down below in the comment section. Am I tripping for wanting cards to not be reprinted in the same rarity? Am I tripping for my model idea? And what do you think about reprints that are happening? What do you think the structure is messed up at? I can't wait to see what you guys have to say. But until then, be sure to check out these videos so I can catch you on the next one.